All right, so I got about 7 hours till I get to Vancouver, Washington driving. It's beautiful out here. There's tons of green, there's trees. There's a couple of parts where I passed where there was water, so it's been a really nice drive. It's sunny out, and deers haven't jumped in front of me, so that's a good thing. I've had that happen before. But for this story, I'm gonna number them. I have so many, but this one definitely one of my funnest times playing craps, and it was the most recent. I was at Red Rock, so this is gonna be crap story number one at Red Rock Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. So one night I went to play, and there was an extremely good shooter. He had really good form. He was shooting stick right. He was shooting the fours on top, twos forward, the hard way set, and he was executing great. Wasn't throwing too hard against the wall, and was barely touching it to where it wasn't random where the sevens were coming out. And it was a great roll. We're all making tons of money, and we're all happy. And then another guy randomly started shooting really well as well towards the end of the night, and he's hitting a ton of points, and he's hitting a 10, and I'm pressing it, and I'm so nervous. I step back from the table every time he went to throw because he was to the right of me, so I would step back to give him room. And he was throwing extremely well, and that shooter's name is David, and he shot so well. Between him and the other shooter, I made 3,300 that night. And this isn't even the main part of the story. So after that night, we exchanged phone numbers because locally we could get together and play. It's always nice playing with another good shooter. If you're having a bad day, having a good shooter there to get you back is really nice. If you're both shooting good in the same day, then sky's the limit. You can make a ton of money. But so we exchanged numbers, and then the next night I contacted David, and he said he was down to play craps at Red Rock again. And we met up, and it went horrible at first. The main table was completely full. It was packed. So we went to a crapless table. For whatever reason, I cannot shoot on a crapless table. It does not work out. I've tried at so many different casinos, and I don't know why, but I just cannot shoot well on them, and I've never seen anybody shoot really well on them. But we decided to try anyways just because the other table was full. And just like in the past, it was horrible. Lost a bunch of money. And then in that time, some of the players cleared off the main table. So we went to the main table. We both shot. Didn't go very well. And then there was a couple there, and they were really getting on my nerves. One of the ladies, she was betting late. So if you're going to make a bet, you always want to do it when the dice are in the middle. Once the dice get sent to the shooter, then do not bet. Don't throw your chips out. If you want to, you can verbally book it with one of the dealers, but do not throw your chips out. This is something that can distract the shooter. It can cause a 7 to come out. But anyways, I was shooting. She kept hooting and hollering to hit certain numbers like 12 because they're playing craps and horn highs. They weren't even playing the numbers, so they're yelling out, hit this number, hit that number. I'm not even trying to hit that. I'm trying to hit the regular numbers to make money. And sure enough, I crap out pretty quick. So I went over and talked to her, and I was like, hey, I know you guys are just trying to have fun, but could you please not do that when I'm shooting? She didn't understand. She's like, hey, you just got to shoot your shot. And I explained, I was like, no, when I'm shooting the dice, I'm letting you know. It bothers me, and it makes it where the whole table loses money. So could you just please not do it? I wasn't being a jerk about it. And then I also let her know about her late bets, because the dice would go out to the shooter, she would be about to shoot, and she thought a bunch of chips saying, oh, give me a horn high 12. And that's another thing, like I said, that can mess up the shooter. So I explained to her that dice etiquette, that's not something you're supposed to do. And the dealers are actually supposed to enforce it as well. They can decide not to take a bet. If somebody throws out a late bet, they can say not booked. So I told them to start doing their jobs and to call them out for that because it's messing up the table. Luckily, the couple ended up leaving. And once the couple left, another gentleman, his name's Matt, which is another person we came to know pretty well. He He came to the table. He's in Vegas for a work meeting, and he comes to the table. I'm shooting the dice, and he decides to put $1,000 don't pass. One thing about don't pass that people don't know is I love when people play the don't pass against me. It gets me fired up. I shoot better. I focus. I take my time making sure the dice are centered. So I throw a 6. He's on the don't pass for $1,000. Didn't put any odds. And I throw the 6 right back. Boom. He loses $1,000. And then I'm hooting and hollering like, woo, he hit the 6. I love it when people lose their money when they think that I can't shoot. So the night's going on. He tries playing the don't a couple more times, and he realizes he's not going to profit by playing the don't against me or my friend David. So he decides to switch to pass line. When he switches to pass line, he's playing crazy odds. He's doing $100 pass line, and then Red Rock allows 10 times odds. So he's doing $100 pass line, $1,000 odds, and we just go on a run. And Matt was down $20,000 before starting there on other games that he had played in the casinos, and he's freaking out. He's down money, so that's why he's playing the don't, because he thinks he's gonna win. And so we start shooting. He's making money. We're all making money. We're all happy. We're screaming, and he starts upping his bet. I remember one of them. He did a $200 pass line. I threw a 4. He was freaking out, but he put $2,000 odds 10 times. So $200 pass line, $2,000 odds. So he's freaking out. I tell him, you know what? Don't worry. I can hit a 4. That's one of those numbers I know I can always hit. No problem. It's just the way my dice set is. That's one of the numbers that comes out. So he looks at me. He's like, well, if you're sure, let's bet a hard 4 too. So he throws out $200. He bets a hard 4 for $150. Puts $50 on the hard 4 for myself. And sure enough, we end up hitting the hard 4. He explodes. We're all screaming because he wins $4,000 off of his $2,000 odds. And then he wins another $200 on the pass line. And then he also won $1,050 on the hard 4. So it was a really good hit on just one number, because he didn't really play the numbers as much. He just played pass line at huge odds. And we're going back and forth. And yeah, there's a couple where we don't shoot as good. We're missing, but we're making more points than what we're missing. So he's still making money. He gets so confident, he starts betting $500 on the pass line and $5,000 odds. And for a second, it started going bad. Points were getting hit. So we decided to do a don't pass run. If you don't know what that is, a don't pass run is where the whole table plays the don't pass. And the first one went to my friend. He threw it, hit like a 9, and then he hits the 7 in like probably 3 rolls. So we all win like $100. The other guy's betting $1,000 on the don't pass. We all win. We're screaming. Gets to Matt. We do a don't pass run again. He throws a number. 7's out instantly. We all win again. Don't pass. We're like, holy crap, this is a lot easier to do than hit all these other numbers. Gets to me. I hit like I think it was a 6. And we're all in the don't pass still because we're doing the round. And I start throwing, and Matt starts freaking out. He's like, 6 is a bad number, man. I don't feel good. And I was like, don't worry. I'm setting the 7. So I'm setting the 7, 3-4 on top, 5-2 forward. And sure enough, I hit the goddamn 6. So we all lose the don't pass, but I make a point. So we all decide to switch back to the light side, which means playing pass line, that we're going to have a good roll. We all switch back, and I went on a heater. This roll went on for probably 40 to 45 minutes. And if we decided that we were going to stay on the don't pass, we would have lost a ton of money, because I went on a heater, just started to hit number and number after number after point, hard way after hard way. And we got down to the point where we were only a couple numbers off the bonus, the all small tall, or some places call it different things. Big boom bust, all small tall. Basically, it's the small numbers rolling 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before you ever roll a 7, even on the come out. So if you roll a 7 on the come out, loses. The big is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So small, big, and then the all is rolling all of them without rolling a 7. And sure enough, on that roll, I hit the damn bonus. And Matt had $20 on each one, so he had 20, 20, 20. So just for his bonus, he won $3,000 on the all, $600 on the small, and $600 on the tall. So he won $4,200 plus in the roll all the numbers and points that I hit. So it was an amazing night. We were all screaming, and we made tons of money. And by the end of the night, Matt went from being down $20,000 to being up about $10,000, I believe, is what he ended up leaving with. But he was so happy. He said that it was the funnest craps session he's ever had. One of the funnest for me as well, because the cool thing about big shooters is when big shooters are winning, they'll throw you money, or the other cool thing is they'll bet for you, and then if you're rolling good, you hit those bets, then you're making tons of money on top of what you're already betting. So I love playing with big shooters that are generous. There are some, I'll have a couple other stories where I've made them $10,000 and then even tip me a $5 chip or nothing, but throwing the dealers tons of money, which makes no sense to me. If someone's shooting good, why would you tip the dealers? Tip the person shooting good. But it is what it is. But anyways, great night. Matt's happy. Guy comes to the table. I'm like, okay, we got a different shooter. I can finally take a break. I'm going to go to the bathroom. So I go to take a piss. I come back, and this guy had rolled 3 points, I believe, for Matt when he was playing the pass line. And so he's up even more money. Goes around, gets back to Andrew, and for whatever reason, Matt decided to bet the don't, even though he had just made a bunch of points for him, because he was throwing the dice random. He was just grabbing the dice, shaking them, throwing them. So I don't know if Matt just thought felt something bad was going to happen. Andrew throws the dice and hits a 4. 4 and 10 are the two best numbers to have as a don't pass number because they're the hardest to hit. You're a lot more likely to hit a 7 before one of those numbers. So his odds was super good to win. And I believe he did a don't pass for about $2,000. Hits the 4. Now, what Andrew didn't understand is that Matt needed him to roll a 7 before he hit that 4. So he tells Andrew to set the 7. Andrew doesn't understand what he's talking about, so he just starts throwing the dice. Well, sure as shit, he hits a 3-1 because Matt had backed it up with a hard 4 just in case. But he hit a 3-1, which kills his hard 4 and his don't pass for $2,000. And I was baffled. I was just like, why would you do that when he just hit 3 points for you? Why would you go to the don't pass? So at this point, I'm thinking, oh my God, he got all his money back. Now he's going to lose it all back. But thank God, I decided to color up. I was like, okay, I'm done. We won. We should all walk away. Matt stayed playing with Andrew, and he had him shoot a couple more. And I believe he made 3 points is what I heard after. But he started playing the pass line with him again. So he made him like another $6,000. So, and then ended up leaving. But that was a great craps session. One thing about craps that I love more than any game is that when it's going good, everyone's screaming together, everyone's happy. There's no other game in the casino that will get to that level. On blackjack, every once in a while, like you'll have a table, they'll scream every time the dealer busts, but it's like a $50 to $100 hand, nothing too crazy. On a craps table, when they're thousands of dollars, everybody has bets out. Every single number that hits, everybody's screaming, yelling. It's a whole nother level. And when you roll the bonuses, the all small tall, You will not hear louder screams anywhere else in the casino than the craps table. So that's one thing that makes it really fun. There's some people that can't hit the bonus. They're great dice setters, but because they're dice setters, they hit certain numbers and then they don't change their dice set to hit the remaining numbers. And the reason why I hit it is because I know how to change my dice set to hit different numbers. Like, okay, I'm not hitting this number. This is the last number I need to hit. So I know I need to change the combination. And I'm not guessing. I know which sets will hit which numbers. I'm not saying that it's perfect, that I can hit it in one roll or call it out like the Dominator. Not that good. But I know as long as my swing's good that it'll eventually come out. A 7 won't come out, and that number eventually will come out. And sure enough, it hit. But it was just an amazing night. I'm glad Matt got all his money back. And so the first night, I had won $3,300. And then on this session, I won another $2,700. It would have been a lot more if we didn't start off so rough. But it was a win, $2,700. So, I mean, within 2 days, I was up $6,000. So I was really happy. But that's going to be my crap story number 1.